All right, so the Chicago Bears now know the price tag for Trey Hendrickson because it has been revealed. Let's talk about it, people. What is going on, y'all? Fox Sports Style back at it with another video talking, of course, NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, guys, please do hit that subscribe button down below. We are on the road to 30K subs, and I really need your help on this channel to hit that. So if you guys could, please do so. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video because I am posting daily content on the channel. And real quick, let's give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, ProfitX. ProfitX is America's #1 sports prediction market where users play against each other instead of the book. So because of that, you'll almost always get the best price on any total spreads, money lines, and player props. And right now, if you use my promo code, guys, FST, you can claim up to $200 free on ProfitX right now for your first 30 days playing on the site. Guys, win real money predicting sports. Terms and conditions apply. So we have an official sort of trade compensation for what the Bengals are looking for, the price, if you will, for a star, a pass rusher, defensive end, Trey Hendrickson. And it is the following. So this is from Ian Rappaport. Bengals edge Trey Hendrickson expected to be a big-time trade target. Bengals would like a young player and a future mid-round pick if they're willing to facilitate a trade. All right, so there you have it. That is the price tag. A young player and a future mid-round pick. So what would that look like for the Chicago Bears? Now, first and foremost, let me just say, obviously, we've talked about the Trey Hendrickson possibility on this channel here. Let me reiterate my stance here. Trey Hendrickson is a guy who would absolutely be game-changing for pretty much any team, but certainly for the Bears, because right now with, the recent solid game with DeAndre Swift and hopefully the run game continues to be good, maybe you shift your focus over to the, edge position because you are not getting any sort of production out of guys that you have paid big money for. And it's getting really frustrating. And so you're thinking maybe we go out and we make a move and a big splashy move for a guy like Trey Hendrickson. And look, while I would tell you that, it would be awesome to have him, I personally feel like we're not in a position right now where we're one player away, one Trey Hendrickson away from competing. But there's schools of thought here which would tell you, hey, every year in the NFL, you kind of got to go for it if you feel like you have a chance. And, the Bears I hopefully have nailed their coach and QB, so it's like, why not? So there is that school of thought. But overall, my sentiment has always been like, we're not ready yet. We are not a player away from being a Super Bowl contender. So I personally would not make a sort of splashy move and give up valuable trade assets. But let's play that hypothetical scenario here because I know people want to do that and are interested. So a young player and a future mid-round pick. So the Bengals most certainly will want a second or a third for Trey Hendrickson in return if they are willing to deal him. So to me, that is certainly what the future mid-round pick means. It's not going to be a first-round pick because they would have said first-round pick, and it's not going to be like a fourth or fifth-round pick because that's just not good enough for a guy of Trey Hendrickson's caliber. So we're looking at a second or third-round pick, more likely a second, and then a young player. So this is the part where it gets a little complicated because it's like, okay, young player, but what side of the ball you're looking for? For the Bengals, I believe it's going to be defense because we know that offensively they are, pretty stacked with Jamar Chase, with T. Higgins. Chase Brown's a good running back. So they're probably going to want a defender, right? A cornerback, a linebacker, maybe an edge rusher, what have you. And so, just for fun, I put this trade sort of request into ChatGPT, and I was like, hey, who's a young player and what's a mid-round pick the Bears could trade for Trey Hendrickson? And this is what they spit out. So they gave me 3 trade possibilities. So let me know what you guys think about this. So first one was Jalen Johnson and a third-round pick. Wow, that would be a hefty price tag on that. I am not giving up Jalen Johnson here, our best player on defense, and he is just 25 years old and ascending. So yeah, I don't know about that one, okay? Second one, Tyreek Stevenson plus a second and a 6th round pick. So you're getting, not as good of a corner, obviously, but a young player in Tyreek Stevenson, and now you increase the draft capital from a third to a second, and you throw in a 6th. A little bit more palatable than the first one. Certainly But I don't know, man. Just the second round pick, it's a little much for me. Maybe I would have done this for a third, if it's a third and a sixth and Tyreek, but I don't know if the Bengals do that. And then finally, the third one here, Jaquan Brisker plus Austin Booker plus second round pick. Man, that seems like a lot. Now, Austin Booker could potentially be, a valuable player in the future. Obviously, he's got still some time here to showcase, how good he is. But by the way, I misspoke. Jalen Johnson, I believe, is 26, not 25. But yeah, Austin Booker, he's a guy that obviously, has upside, has potential. And it would be hard to part ways with him, but obviously you have to give up good players here. So all three trade proposals, I feel like they aren't egregious. It is probably what you're going to have to give up, this sort of package for a guy like Trey Hendrickson. Me personally, man, I'm just like looking at all this and I'm like, I think we're fine. I truly do think we're fine at this point. Let a true contender go after Trey Hendrickson. Use that draft capital to draft an edge rusher in this next year's draft. Go out and get building block pieces like that. You can get impact players right away, right? Like if you end up, somehow getting a top 10 pick, you can get impact edge rushers that can contribute from day one. Like the Rams were able to do that in the past year or so, and like other teams as well. So to me, I can't get myself around to do this sort of trade. So to me, I'm staying away. I'm not giving up valuable players and trade assets, young players for Trey Hendrickson, who is 30 years old. He's still got a lot of juice left in the tank. He's still an impactful player, but to me, I just don't think the Bears are in that position right now. So that is where I'm at with this, people. Let me know what you guys think. Would you trade any of these potential packages for Trey Hendrickson? Would you want to trade what the Bengals are looking for Trey Hendrickson? Let me know down in the comments below. Sound off. And let me know what you guys think. As always, thanks for watching.